hand to hand, and whatever you used to fight with, we were doing it. Yeah, Ron Melyan grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey. Drafted out of there when I was 24. Basic, Fort Hood, Texas. AIT, Fort Hood, Texas. Looking to take it right by home, because I heard a lot of guys took it right by home, but no, I went out with the Texans. I guess they knew I liked the country music, so they shipped me out there. Big, hot, wasn't too crazy about it. Wasn't too crazy about the towns around, but I got used to it, that's all. Training was tough in the beginning because I was a chunky guy when I went in, so I had to do a little extra work to get myself into shape for that. And being 24, most of the other ones were kids, 18, 19, so they could handle it better. But I got through it, and then it became a little easy, a part of life, a way of life. Guys were great. I mean, up and down the line. Yes, there was some of them that looked up to me. Being I was 24, I wound up getting a name at 24 years old of Pops. They felt they wanted to know a little about life, like I knew that much more than they did. But we felt we had a great group of guys. We got along together good. We trained together good. We depend on each other. Very close. I mean, you could say it becomes like closer than your brothers or your sisters, your mother or your father. This is your family, and they depend on you, you depend on them. The Upshur, I did not enjoy it at all. 18 days, 16 days of pure hell to me. I was sick, vomiting over the side of that ship every day, didn't eat nothing. I think it's the only time I ever actually lost weight. I didn't eat. I didn't even want to look at the food, watching these waves going past the porthole windows and everything. But no, I wasn't a boat person. When we got it in range of July, of course, we're all down all of the ship there, I guess, and they put us on the landing craft. But that night, we're down there, and it was hot and sweaty and everything, and guys were all nervous, we were young and everything. All these war movies you've seen, we're going to go storming the beaches and all this stuff. Well, in the morning or during the night, we got on the landing craft, and we come up to the shores, and they opened up those ramps, and we got out. To our amazement, there's a huge band playing. One of the Army songs, and we're all marching off for flags. I said, "Where's the war?" We all looked at each other. I said, "This is hilarious, I said, "This thing is going to be, I guess, a cakewalk for us. I guess we're not going to do nothing." That was our first experience of landing there. We looked like, nothing. 1 or 2 weeks, I'm not sure, of indoctrination into the country and telling you about the country and the people and how to respect them, that we're a guest of the South Vietnamese government. I really didn't want to be a guest there. I sure didn't want to be invited. Then I think our first operation was around, I think they moved us out to a place called Duck Pho. It was light. Nothing going on really in a couple weeks. It was quiet right then. So I said, well, the year's going to go by, and that would be it. But it didn't work out that way. Being from Jersey, I was always a cold weather person. I enjoyed cold weather. So I wasn't too enthused. I mean, left Texas, where it was hot and everything. Now it's hotter here, and the humidity, and the bugs, and so I wasn't crazy about the terrain. Yep, where we were at first down by the beach, yeah, that was all right. But boy, when we got out in the rice paddies and we saw some of these mountains, no, that's no place to be. You carried as much as you could. because you wanted that, make sure you had enough for yourself. And for the machine gun, you carried a couple extra belts for that. And I was a radio operator for a while, RTO. I carried the extra weight. That was put on me in the States. And I wound up carrying it for a while because something happened to somebody in the States. So they gave it to me. They said, you're big enough, you're chunky enough, you can carry it. So I wound up carrying that. You took as much as you could handle and a little more. You were wet all the time. The monsoon season come along and they wet again. You're either walking through rivers of water or rice paddies, whether it be up to your ankles or your knees or up to your waist, whatever. It just became a way of life. Then the monsoons, every day, every night, rain. You try to cover up. If you're trying to get a little sleep, you throw a poncho over you, something like that. But really to no avail. So you just let it come down on you. Well, the ambushes, when we set them up, you go out the night patrol. We go out a little after dark. We go set up for the night. Maybe a squad, I think about 8, 10 guys. We set up near a trail. Stay awake, just waiting and for it to come along. And whoever come down that trail shouldn't be moving there at night. You know it wasn't American. At least you hoped it wasn't an American soldier. Nerve-wracking. Anything that moved, anything you heard or whatever, you thought it was the enemy. I mean, there was times where we set up for an ambush and you thought for sure it was them, and then it was nothing. It was just a scary all-night situation. When it's black, overcast, nothing but bushes and more bushes. And now you start imagining things that are moving. I think one time we hit the panic button. We thought it was, and it wasn't, that nobody was coming down the trail. Total darkness, We were really tight in Fort Hood. And of course, we got tighter over there. We trusted each other more because of the bonding in Fort Hood, that it was I'll really rely on him. I know what he's going to do. I know how it's going to work out. And I could trust him. He could trust me. And that's what we felt. We really did. This is family. This is family. There's no other family. I don't think anything about back in the States. This is it right here. Digging foxholes was lousy. Unless it was coming in on you. Boy, do you want to dig a foxhole? You want to dig it as deep as you can. Well, we did have an experience where we did dig deeper. We had trouble seeing that. We had to build it back up. We were so afraid of it. I remember that. When they said dig in, well, guess what? I'll start digging. Dig a little deeper because that's my security blanket that you feel. I'm young, and as a young person, you think you're invincible. Nothing's going to happen or anything like that. We did crazy things, sitting on a bunk or something in the States, flipping cards over who's going to be wounded, who's going to be killed, because you don't think it. And some of the cards did turn out the wrong way for some of the guys. And over there, found out it was the real deal. Richard Chris, he was a machine gunner, and he just couldn't wait, I think he was from Oklahoma. I think all from Mesquite, Oklahoma, because I used to kid him about that. Rich Sheridan, we were close. Palling around and gambling. I mean, we just found time to gamble when there was a downtime or something, get a card game together. Jimmy Lopp, young kid, 19, real nice guy, but very, very young. And I guess that's why they picked me and called me Pops. I was 24, 19, 18, 17. But it's just a good group of guys. We gelled together good. I believe it was in November when that we had our first man killed, and I guess maybe we started taking things even more serious. When nothing was going on, we were just going from one mountain to another, searching places out, sporadic things. Good officers, all the guys, the sergeants. I mean, we had a great sergeant in our platoon. He did his time over there before. He knew his stuff. Newer sergeants, they knew their stuff too, because we all went over together. They made sergeant, like Sergeant Bartley. He knew his stuff, He's the one you gave more respect to. Not that you didn't respect the other guys, but he knew his stuff, Burks, I don't remember him that much. I know he was a Southern boy, because Me being from Jersey, I remember sitting around at different times. I might have been in the States. I would sing country music. I always liked country music. And he started getting a tear in his eye, and he says, you know, Melyan, how the hell is a Jersey boy know country music? I said, well, I always liked country music. Sergeant Bartlett, he was a quiet man. Could have been a little nerve-wracking that he knew his stuff so much. He just knew how to set things up. Afraid? We're all afraid. Nobody could say, no, they weren't afraid of anything. But something with his persona that this is it, this is the way it goes. And whether it be a captain or a colonel telling him what to do, nah, this man had the right answer. I always respected him and gave him credit for that. It wasn't an ambush. We were going down a trail. I guess it was the platoon. And here's Charlie right along on another trail alongside of us, what I remember. And we're marching along there, going along. He just stopped everybody. You know, he gave the hand signal, stop, you know, all freezed up there. There's nothing. Started going along again, stopped dead again. Nothing. Remember him giving a signal to move, and he stopped us, and they were still moving. What we heard, I believe it was, I almost sure that was to the right of us. And he just ordered, gave a hand signal, turned to the right, opened up, and there was Charlie along the same trail. They kept moving. They were stopping and stopping, and then all of a sudden he stopped. They moved, and he had a sense to it, you know. We knew it was going to be a big thing because Americans didn't move at night. I believe the choppers came, and it was fairly late in the day, the night before. I remember that night we were crossing rice paddies and everything to set up. And I believe we started receiving fire from a Marine unit. That we were under their command, but somebody didn't get the word out that we were moving into position for the defense of Da Nang. Set up a perimeter and just tried to take it easy, get some rest for the morning of February 8th. The next morning, we started receiving a little sniper fire. Okay, we received it a lot of other times. That's nothing. And I'll tell you, me and I guess Sharon and everything, I think we're doing a little, rolling a little dice or something because the other guys will take care of it. So, and we're receiving the fire. We kept low and just did a little, hey, relax time, you know, nothing's going to happen and everything. It's more than one sniper now. 3 or 4 squad, we don't know. We don't know what it was. It got heavier. Lined the whole company up, moved the company across the rice paddies. When they suckered us in so far, then they got us in. They were dug in, I believe it was on the left side of the hooches, all along the rice paddy. They were dug in there, and I believe they were dug in the front of the hooches so far up. I can't guarantee that, but they had us pinned down good. And then all we realized when somebody turned around and said, they're coming from the left. They're oversweeping us, because we're busy firing straight ahead, and here they are moving from the left side of us. And it was just hand to hand, and whatever you used to fight with, we were doing it. We were using everything we could. You could see them, you know. A lot of the fighting in the earlier times, it was just returning fire in that general direction. You received fire from that tree line, you fired back. Very seldom where you saw them. Now, you're looking in this man's face. You're looking in his face, and he's looking in yours. Yeah, and that's what you saw coming at you. Army uniforms, and you know, you were getting a little used to seeing the Viet Cong and the black pajamas and the hat. But now this is a regular soldier. This guy, he's trained like you. Maybe not as good, but he's trained like you. And, you know, that was his job to kill you like it was our job to kill him. It got hot, very hot and heavy. I mean, I would say in the initial 5 or 10 minutes of it, something, I believe we had maybe 15, 18 guys killed right away. A lot of wounded. I remember the Sergeant Freddie Lewis. He was a great in the States. He was funny. He was quiet. You would never expect the stuff you saw from him. But to see him over there, he was great, and all did our part. Jimmy Lopp, he was the assistant machine gunner to Phil Bertacci. He was killed right away there. Basically, with all the fighting then, we managed to pull back into the cemetery, regroup, to go back out and battle, which we did, and they were doing a number on us. We had a lot of guys wounded. I seen the one guy back, Don Kaiser. To this day, I see his face, young, good-looking kid. I saw the blood streaming down his face, and he was white as a ghost. He was pure white. I managed to get him back and everything, and I said, Don, we got to get the fuck out of here. We got to get out of this place. We don't belong in this. It was just pure hell that day to get our dead and wounded, and we couldn't get any choppers to pull them out. They were firing on us. It was just like a night till the next day. There was harassing fire and stuff. Never forget the day. Never forget the time. And we said we've got to do our job better. And I think which we did after we had the initial shock or what, when they hit us right away. Second platoon that managed to hold them off till we got back and regrouped and we moved back out again. Else, I guess that what I heard was to this day that we should have all been dead right now. We were dropping him really close to us. To me, it looked like he was 10 feet over your head. He might have been 100, but that thing was big and beautiful. And just talking to you that he's going to empty everything on him and they're going to be back and with another pass and another pass. And you said, well, we got a little security to hold off a while there. But, they just come in and pound it away at them, They're your people, but you're still scared. You still care because that bomb could miss a target and land on us. We did our job. And we were proud of it after that. You know what? We kicked ass. Yeah, we lost 20 guys, but you know what? Killed 200 or 300 of them, whatever they dragged away or whatever, but it weren't worth one man of ours. But we said we got to get the justification of that. Waiting for another assault, night assault, and I believe it was basically just the harassing fire. And I believe that we kept illumination, which illumination is just light up the sky all night long with the Air Force flying over, dropping these canisters out with parachutes, for the security to keep us alight because we were in bad shape. Somber, knowing that this buddy, that buddy, word got around. We said, I heard what's her name was killed, something, and over in the second platoon. And that was our mood was a somber, quiet. I mean, it wasn't the joking around or, but we knew what we had to do and what tomorrow might bring. I would say it changed a lot of the guys where I would almost say we started looking at everyone as the enemy. Like kids and everything, I laugh with them and everything, and I used to kid around with them and stuff like that. Then you start backing away a little, that all looking at you to kill you. And I think that's what it became for a lot of the guys, that after February 8th, it seemed like the battles started to intensify. We seemed to be doing more missions. Go take this hill and then leave it and go back a week later, go back out there and take it again. You know what? You turn around and said, you know what? We are fighting men now. We are a group of men that we can handle it. We can handle it. We're going to go out and we can handle it even better now because what we went through, we felt I could do it. Nothing's going to bother me now. What I have to do, I'm going to do it. Venus McCleary, when they had us pinned down there in May. That shows the quality of the men that we had. Having a man awarded the Medal of Honor. People turn around and say, he won the Medal of Honor. He won the Silver Star. Not a contest out there. You awarded that. I mean, a lot of men that died sure weren't going out to win. It's a natural instinct that comes out of you to do this. 2 days later, a day later, you turn around and say, what'd I do that for? So there, I would always say the man was awarded the Medal of Honor or whatever. I remember with that hill and everything that they had us pinned down but good. He just took charge, older guy and everything, and he just moved up there with the bunkers, different machine gunners and everything. And then, well, we had this other great guy, funny Southern boy, Texan, Allen. He just went up there and moved right along too. Always be proud that there's a man with us awarded the Medal of Honor. So, that shows these guys win a battle. These guys know a battle, whether it be Lo Giang or 352. We always seem to be out there fighting. I don't remember many times of getting a stand down, taking us in. We could be out for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. And as it got closer and closer and closer, now you're a short timer. Now you don't want to go out on any missions. And I know about had to be maybe a week or something before that we had to go out. And they told us right away that it was a hot LZ. You're going to receive a lot of fire and everything. Come on, we're going home in a week or anything. Well, you got to go. Somebody's got to go. Somebody's do it. But that's very nerve-wracking. First get there, maybe you think, you know what? If I'm shot or killed right now, well, at least I don't have to spend a year in this stinking country. But now you got the year through. Well, this isn't the time to die now. I made it. I want to go home now, Captain, good man. Of course, an officer, gun-ho, go to the front. Come on, you're going with me right along, Good man, thoughtful of his men, good leader. First Sergeant Rodriguez, he didn't take nothing from nobody. Officers, he was top. A little, maybe you didn't catch on to what he was saying because his English, you understand some of the stuff. But if you put it down to you the next time, then you understood it. So he told you that was it. But he was a fair man, he knew when you had a problem or whatever, and what had to be done. It's something in battle that you still can laugh about something. And I think that's what makes up the American soldier. They always say a bitching soldier is the best soldier. He'll do his job even though he bitches every minute about it. And we can laugh. An American soldier has a sense of humor, too. And I think that's what got us through it and everything.